Salvador is one of the oldest cities in the Americas. Founded in 1549, it was the first capital of Brazil and still preserves vivid traces of colonial history, African culture, and music that has conquered the world. With more than 2.4 million inhabitants, Salvador is not just a tourist hub. It is also the largest urban center in the Brazilian Northeast, where tradition and modernity blend at every corner. Feira de Santana, located about 100 kilometers from the capital, is known as the biggest highway hub in northern and northeastern Brazil. With a population of over 600,000 inhabitants, the city is one of the economic engines of Bahia, with a strong presence in commerce, industry, and national logistics. Its name originates from the cattle fairs of the 18th century, which boosted the urban growth of the region. These two cities, separated by just over an hour by road, together concentrate more than 4 million people in their metropolitan regions. Every day, thousands of workers, students, and truck drivers travel this route along the BR 324, one of the most congested and dangerous highways in the state. But this reality is about to change with a project that promises to cut the travel time in half, providing comfort, safety, and efficiency aboard a modern, sustainable train that will connect the main regions of Bahia. This is the goal of the new Salvador to Feira de Santana Intercity train, which has been widely discussed and promises to revolutionize mobility between these two cities in Bahia. This is Construction Time. I'm Luciano Guimarães, and in this video, you will discover all the details about the project that promises to revolutionize transportation in Bahia. The connection between Salvador and Feira de Santana is one of the busiest in the state of Bahia, and without exaggeration, in all of the Northeast. Every day, more than 40,000 vehicles travel on BR 324, the main highway between the two cities. There are passenger cars, intercity buses, cargo trucks, and even long-distance vehicles crossing the state from end to end. The result? Frequent traffic jams, daily accidents, and high logistical costs for transporting people and goods. The proposal for the new intercity train is simple but ambitious. To build a railway approximately 100 kilometers long, cutting through the metropolitan region of Salvador and reaching the city of Feira quickly and efficiently. The route of the line is still being technically defined, but the project foresees that it will pass through strategic municipalities such as Simões, Simões Filho, Candeias, Santo Amaro, Amélia Rodrigues, and other urban areas with high development potential. The trip, which currently takes an average of 1 hour and 10 minutes by car or bus and can reach up to 2 hours during peak hours, will be completed in just 35 minutes aboard the train. This is equivalent to crossing the distance between Rio de Janeiro and Petrópolis in less than half the current time. It's faster than many urban routes within the capital itself. We're not just talking about passengers. The railway will be for mixed traffic. In addition to transporting people, it will be able to carry large volumes of cargo between the logistics hub of Feira de Santana and the port of Salvador. Industrial products, agricultural goods, fuels, construction metals, and consumer goods will be able to circulate in a more economical, safe, and environmentally friendly way. In terms of scale, this railway is not just a railway, a train line. It is a means of regional development with the potential to transform the economic profile of the entire region between the two cities, directly impacting the lives of millions of people in Bahia. However, this project will not be easy at all, and there are still many steps ahead, such as, for example, the motivation for its construction. The proposal for a railway between Salvador and Feira de Santana gained momentum starting in 2023 when the company CCR Metro Bahia expressed interest in conducting studies to make the project feasible. The initial idea was to implement an intercity train operating through a public-private partnership, focusing on passengers and in the future also on cargo. In 2024, the project advanced even further. It was taken over directly by the federal government through the Ministry of Transport. The change came after the company TIC Bahia Ltda officially submitted an authorization request to the NTT, the National Land Transport Agency. This makes construction possible without the need for bidding through the railway authorization model. The state government supported the transfer, recognizing the complexity and the national impact of the project. The motivation to speed up the railway is clear. BR 324, the highway that connects the two cities, is overloaded. The heavy flow of vehicles causes delays, accidents, and increases in logistics costs. In addition, Salvador and Feira de Santana already form, in practice, an urban and economic corridor that requires new mobility solutions. According to the Minister of Transport, Renan Filho, the government sees the railway as a way to boost regional development, ease traffic congestion, and reduce dependence on road transport. The project is also aligned with the new national program for investment in logistics infrastructure, which aims to expand the Brazilian railway network, focusing on efficiency and sustainability. The exact route, the stations, and the construction phase are still under study. But the expectation, according to NTT's own technicians, is that the first results will already begin to be seen in the coming years. But to better understand, we can look at how the project and its stages are currently. The railway project between Salvador and Feira de Santana is still in the initial structuring phase, but some points have already been defined. According to the request filed by the company TIC Bahia Ltda, published by the NTT in the Official Gazette of the Union, the proposal foresees a mixed traffic railway, that is, for both passengers and cargo. This significantly increases its strategic value, since the mode of transport will serve both the population and the local logistics sector. The planned length of the line is approximately 100 km, crossing several municipalities in the metropolitan region of Salvador, until it reaches the road junction of Feira de Santana. The exact route is still under analysis by technical teams who are evaluating variables such as urban density, expropriation costs, and environmental impact. According to the Ministry of Transport, the concession may be granted through railway authorization, waiving the need for bidding, but requiring the interested company to prove technical and financial capacity to carry out the project. According to the information released so far, the project is divided into three major phases. First, technical study and route definition. These are currently underway and do not yet have an exact estimated completion date. Second, the bidding and feasibility stage, which will include environmental assessment, legal authorizations, and financing guarantees. And third, the construction and implementation phase. The initial expectation is that the works could begin within a period of 1 to 2 years, depending on the official approval from NTT. Although technical details have not yet been released, it is possible that the railway will be built with broad-gauge tracks to allow for better stability and speed, and that it will feature digital signaling systems and advanced operational control centers, which are common practices in modern railways with mixed traffic. However, these are technical speculations based on trends from other similar projects and have not yet been officially confirmed by the government or the company responsible. It is also important to emphasize that NTT stresses that the request from TIC Bahia Ltda has not yet been approved, and that the process is still in the internal evaluation phase. If the authorization is granted, the company will have to submit the detailed executive project, including environmental impact studies, a technical and economic feasibility plan, and guarantees for the execution of the work. However, what are the impacts foreseen by the project? The economic impacts of this railway are expected to generate thousands of direct and indirect jobs during its construction and operation. The impact on the local economy will be significant, especially in the real estate, logistics, and service sectors. Cities like Candeias, Simões Filho, and Santo Amaro may benefit from the appreciation of land and the emergence of new urban centers. The social impacts, on the other hand, involve a complete transformation of the region's mobility. Workers who currently spend hours in traffic will have reduced commuting times. Students who live in one city and study in another will have a better quality of life. Rail transport is also safer, with fewer accidents compared to road traffic. And finally, the project will also have an environmental impact, since replacing cars and buses with trains helps reduce CO2 emissions. The train's energy consumption per passenger is several times lower than that of individual vehicles. With fewer trucks on the roads, the durability of the highways also increases, reducing public maintenance costs and the indirect environmental impact. Also in 2025, the completion of the technical study of TIC Bahia and final authorization by the NTT are expected. From then on, the phase of attracting investments, environmental permitting, and the start of construction, which is expected to take place over the next 2 years, will begin. In addition, there is already discussion about the possibility of expanding the line to connect Feira de Santana to cities such as Alagoinhas, Cruz das Almas, and in the future, even Vitória da Conquista, forming an integrated intermunicipal railway corridor. The success of the project could serve as an example for other Brazilian states, such as Pernambuco, Ceará, and Goiás, which are studying railway alternatives for passengers. The resumption of passenger rail transport in Brazil has been gaining ground in public debate, and Bahia could be a pioneer in this national movement. The Salvador to Feira de Santana train is not just a transportation project. It is a response to urban mobility problems, uncontrolled growth, and the need for a more sustainable model of transportation in Brazil. It represents the revival of the national railway culture with the most modern technology and a forward-looking vision. If successfully implemented, this train will not only bring places closer together, but also narrow social, economic, and environmental gaps. What once seemed like just a dream is getting closer and closer to becoming reality. Thank you for watching this video until the end. It would really be wonderful if the state of Bahia got this railway, wouldn't it? Leave your opinion about this project in the comments below. Do you think it will happen as soon as possible, or will it take a few years to happen? That's it for now. Big hug and see you in the next video.